Have you ever felt that words can be both a bridge and a barrier? Gautama Buddha taught that words hold immense power. They can be a source of strength or weakness. They have the potential to build, heal, and inspire, yet they can also destroy and wound. But there's something even more transformative than what we say: silence. Have you ever felt like your mind is an untidy room, full of thoughts coming and going without control? Maybe you have everything you think you need: a good job, friends, comfort, yet something still feels missing. That sense of restlessness is more common than you might imagine. The truth is, we live in a world where we're constantly connected, surrounded by noise, distractions, and opinions. Our words often flow unfiltered, and we frequently end up saying too much, wasting energy on things that lead nowhere. Have you ever considered that sometimes what we truly need isn't more answers or solutions, but silence? In today's world, where the noise never seems to stop, silence has become almost a luxury. Endless notifications, opinions from every direction, and constant pressure to react to everything. How many times have you said something on impulse and regretted it later? Or worse, felt like no one was really listening? What if I told you that the solution to many of these conflicts lies in practicing something we all have access to, but rarely use: silence? In this video, I want to share with you a powerful story about how silence transformed the life of a king who had everything: wealth, power, and fame, but couldn't find peace. Through a simple yet profound teaching, he discovered that by quieting the world around him, he could finally hear his own essence. This story isn't just about the king. It's about you, me, and all of us seeking more clarity, less stress, and a life with deeper meaning. After all, as Buddha also said, the mind is shaped by what we choose to nurture. So before we dive into this reflection, I ask you to take a moment to like this video and share this message. It could be the start of a transformation, not just for you, but for someone who needs to hear it. Are you ready to discover the power of silence? Let's go. The provided text contains 367 words. Now, I will translate it into American English while preserving the meaning and tone of the original, adjusting the language to fit American nuances. Here's the translation: The transformative power of silence today. I want to share with you a story that might change the way you view silence and help you find a point of inner peace. Let's talk about how silence, when used intentionally, can bring clarity, focus, and even transform your life. In this video, I'll tell you how a king discovered the power of silence and completely changed the way he lived. This story isn't just inspiring. It holds deep lessons on how small changes in the way we speak and think can impact our minds, our relationships, and even our achievements. So if you're seeking more calm and balance in your life, stay with me until the end of this video. Let's start this journey together. The King and the Discovery of Silence. Long ago in a faraway land, there lived a king who had everything anyone could desire: wealth, power, fame, and all the luxuries one could dream of. But despite all of this, he felt a vast emptiness inside. His mind was always restless, filled with confusing thoughts, and no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't find peace. One day, the king heard about a Buddhist monk who lived in a distant forest. The monk was known for his wisdom and his ability to bring serenity even to the most troubled hearts. Desperate for answers, the king decided to visit him. When he met the monk, he opened his heart. "Respected monk, I have everything anyone could want, but my mind never rests. I feel frustrated, angry, and empty. Please, help me find peace." The monk listened carefully and with a serene smile responded, "The answer to your restlessness is already within you, but you've never sought it. I'd like to propose an experiment. If you follow my instructions, I promise you will find the peace you seek." Eager for change, the king agreed without hesitation. The monk then explained, "For the next 15 days you will stay here, living as an ordinary person. Your only task will be to remain silent. Speak as little as possible, avoid distractions, and spend your days in solitude." Though hesitant at first, the king accepted the challenge. The first day, the weight of silence. At first, the silence seemed unbearable. Accustomed to giving orders and being the center of attention, the king felt his mind growing more restless. Thoughts and worries arose at every moment. He wanted to complain, ask questions, justify himself, but he knew he couldn't. However, As the hours passed, he began to notice something different. When he stopped trying to control his thoughts and simply observed them, they lost their power. That first night, while gazing at the stars in silence, he felt a slight relief, something he hadn't experienced in years. The third day, discovering nature. As the days went by, the king started noticing things he had never seen before. He watched the birds flying, the trees swaying in the wind, and the sound of the flowing water in the nearby river. For the first time, he connected with the simple, peaceful beauty of nature. This connection brought an unexpected calm. He realized that while the world around him was silent and harmonious, his mind was beginning to reflect that peace. The 10th day, the transformation. As the days turned into nights, silence ceased to be a burden and became a friend. On the 10th day, the king experienced something extraordinary. His mind, once so chaotic, became calm. Without realizing it, he entered a deep, meditative state. At that moment, the king understood something powerful. His restlessness didn't come from the outside world, but from within himself. He realized that the excess of talking, negative thoughts, and the constant need for control were draining his energy and feeding his frustration. The 15th day, the revelation. On the final day of the experiment, the king approached the monk. His eyes were shining with a new light, and his expression reflected a profound peace. He said, "Master, now I understand the cause of my restlessness. I used to talk too much, waste my energy on unnecessary things, and get lost in negative thoughts. During these days of silence, I learned to observe, to listen, and most importantly, to be present." The monk smiled and replied, "You've discovered a great truth. Silence is not just the absence of words, it's the space where we find our true essence. When we learn to speak less and listen more, our minds align with the peace that already exists within us." The king returned to his palace transformed. Not only did he find the peace he had been searching for, but he also changed the way he governed and lived. Now he spoke less, but his words carried more weight. He learned from silence and shared this wisdom with others. This story teaches us that silence is not a void, but a powerful space where we can connect with our essence. Often we talk too much, getting lost in negative thoughts and drifting away from what truly matters. But just like the king, we can find balance by embracing silence and introspection. And what about you? When was the last time you sat in silence, just with yourself? Perhaps it's time for you to try the same experiment and discover the transformation that can happen in your life. Stay until the end of the video, because we're going to explore together how you can apply this lesson to your everyday life. And if this story is already inspiring you, share in the comments how you connect with silence. Lessons from silence. The story of the king and the monk is not only inspiring, it also presents universal truths that we can apply to our lives. In the modern world where noise is constant, whether it's on social media, in conversations, or in our own thoughts, the lessons of silence are more relevant than ever. Let's dive deep into these lessons and understand how silence can transform us. Silence as a tool for self-knowledge. How many times have you felt like you have no control over your mind? It's as if your thoughts take over, dragging you into worries, insecurities, and regrets. Silence offers us a space to observe these thoughts without judgment. As the king discovered, silence is not just the absence of words, but a state of presence. When we stop speaking and simply remain still, we start to hear our inner voice. And that voice, often drowned out by external noise, has a lot to teach us. The practice of silence teaches us to identify patterns in our thoughts and behaviors. Are we talking to fill the void? Are we using words to avoid facing our own emotions? By being silent, these questions begin to be answered naturally. How to apply? Set aside 10 minutes a day to sit in complete silence. Don't touch your phone, don't listen to music, just sit in a quiet place. Observe your thoughts, but don't engage with them. Over time, you'll start to learn more about yourself. Speak less, listen more. The king realized that his excessive talking was one of the main causes of his unrest. When we talk too much, we waste our energy and often create unnecessary situations. Have you ever been in a heated argument where you said something you later regretted? Or perhaps you shared a secret or opinion that wasn't needed? This happens because when we talk too much, we lose control of our words. Speaking less gives us the opportunity to listen more. not just to others but also to ourselves. Active listening is a powerful skill that can transform our relationships. When we truly listen, we show empathy, understanding, and respect, qualities that strengthen any connection. How to apply? Next time you're in a conversation, try listening without interrupting. Ask questions that show genuine interest. You'll notice how this can change the dynamics of the conversation. 3. Silence reduces conflict. How many arguments could have been avoided if someone had chosen to remain silent? The monk explained to the king that silence is a powerful tool for avoiding conflict. When we learn to pause before responding, we create space to reflect on our words and their consequences. In the heat of an argument, silence might be interpreted as weakness, but in reality, it's a sign of strength. It gives us time to process our emotions and respond more thoughtfully. How to apply? Next time you feel anger or frustration, practice silence before responding. Take a deep breath, count to 10, and assess whether what you are about to say will actually help resolve the issue. 4. Silence cultivates inner peace. Inner peace doesn't come from what we have or do, but from how we connect with our true self. During the 15 days in the monastery, the king realized that his restlessness came from within, not from external circumstances. Silence helps us access this peace because it disconnects us from the noise of the world and reconnects us with the present moment. It allows us to appreciate the small things, the sound of the wind, the song of birds, the warmth of the sun. How to apply? Incorporate moments of mindfulness into your daily routine. For instance, during breakfast, sit in silence and focus on the flavors and textures of your food. This simple act can bring more calm and presence to your day. 5. Silence is not isolation. Many people fear silence because they associate it with loneliness, but silence doesn't mean isolating yourself from others. It means reconnecting with yourself. When we learn to be at peace in our own company, our interactions with others become more meaningful. The monk taught the king that silence can coexist with communication. When we speak from a place of inner calm, our words carry more weight. They have a quality that resonates deeply with others. How to apply? Practice moments of silence even in social situations. For example, during a dinner with friends, take advantage of pauses in the conversation to observe and appreciate your surroundings. 6. Silence strengthens the mind. The king discovered that by speaking less, his mind became clearer and more focused. When we're constantly talking or thinking, our mental energy gets scattered. Silence helps us regain this energy and direct it toward what truly matters. How to apply? Try a digital detox once a week. Spend a day without social media or messages and use the time to reflect or do something creative. 7. Silence as a path to success. Great leaders and visionaries often speak less and listen more. They know that their words carry weight, and silence can be a powerful strategy. Just like the king, those who cultivate silence gain respect and attention because their words are deliberate and meaningful. How to apply? Before a meeting or presentation, take a moment of silence to center yourself. This will help you communicate more clearly and effectively. Conclusion: silence as transformation. Silence is not just a break in speech, it's a journey inward. It teaches us to be more mindful, empathetic, and present. If you feel your life is full of noise, both external and internal, maybe it's time to embrace silence. Start slowly with small daily moments and notice how it transforms your mind, relationships, and even your goals. How the king learned that silence is a gift, not a threat. Silence isn't something to fear, but to cherish. This is what the king discovered. By cultivating it, you too can find the peace and clarity you seek. Now let me ask you, when was the last time you gifted yourself the experience of silence? Share your thoughts in the comments. How has this practice helped you? If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more stories like this. Let's explore the transformative power of silence together. In our fast-paced world, silence is often underestimated. Yet it has proven to be one of the greatest allies in the search for inner peace and harmony in human relationships. The story of the king and the monk teaches us that when we silence the world around us and truly listen to ourselves, we uncover truths that were hidden in plain sight. How many times amidst the noise and chaos do we forget to ask ourselves, how am I really feeling? Silence gives us the opportunity to answer that question. It teaches us to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. It reminds us that the words we choose, or choose not to say, shape our lives and the lives of those around us. But silence isn't just a tool for moments of crisis or introspection. It can become a lifestyle, a way of living with intention and presence. Every pause is a chance to look inward, recharge, and align with what truly matters. Why does this matter to you? Maybe you feel overwhelmed or distracted. Maybe your days are filled with so many obligations and stimuli that there's hardly any time left for yourself. If that's the case, this is the perfect moment to pause and experience the transformative power of silence. As we learned from the king, drastic changes aren't necessary to start. Just 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes to disconnect from the outside world and reconnect with your inner world. Imagine how your life could change with such a simple habit. Picture less stress, greater clarity, and deeper relationships. What can you do next? If you've made it this far, you've already taken the first step toward transforming your life. Here are some practical actions you can take right now. 1. Try silence. Today, set aside 10 minutes for yourself right now. Find a quiet place, close your eyes, and just be present. 2. Share this message. We all know someone who could benefit from these lessons. Why not share this video with them? Sometimes a small gesture can spark significant change. 3. Engage with the community. We want to hear from you. Share your experiences with silence in the comments. Was it challenging? Liberating? How do you think it could improve your life? 4. Join Inspira Zen. This channel is a journey to explore wisdom, inspiration, and tranquility. If you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to never miss future content. Remember, likes, comments, and shares aren't just numbers. They're connections. They show that we're creating something meaningful and help spread this message to more people, creating a ripple effect of positive impact. Just as silence begins with a single pause, a life-changing transformation can start with one simple action. The decision is in your hands. Why not start now? Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's build a community that values what truly matters: balance, peace, and the transformative power of silence. See you in the next video.